Foreigners are buying property in Malaysia right now, a lot of them, and some of them are going to regret it. Not because Malaysia is a bad market, it's actually a great market if you know what you're doing. But if you buy the wrong property in the wrong area, you could end up stuck with something you can't rent out, can't sell, and can't break even on. I'm going to cover the 5 things every foreigner needs to know before they buy anything here. And stay till the end because I'm going to show you exactly how to get this right, and if you work with my team, it's not going to cost you a single cent. Let's start with something most people don't know. You don't need a visa to buy a property in Malaysia. You don't need to be a resident. You don't even need to be in Malaysia. Any foreigner from almost any country can buy properties here. The SPA, Sales and Purchase Agreement, can be couriered to you. You sign it wherever you are in the world and then you send it back. Done. And this is genuinely rare because most countries make property ownership complicated. Malaysia makes it straightforward. The minimum purchase price for foreigners starts at about 500,000 ringgit depending on the state, and in most major cities it's about 1 million ringgit. But within that range you have real options, good properties in great locations. So the opportunity is real and the access is easy. The problem is easy access means a lot of people jump in without doing the work first, and that's where it goes wrong. Now this is the biggest mistake I see foreigners make, and I see it every single week. Nas, I don't want leasehold properties. They are bad investments. If leasehold properties were really bad investments, no one would buy them. Not even locals. I know more leasehold properties that had better capital appreciation and ROI compared to freehold properties. Now I understand where you're coming from. A lot of countries, especially in Southeast Asia and in some European countries, leasehold are only about 25 to 50 years. In Malaysia, leasehold is 99 years. A bit of background. Malaysia as a country is only 70 years old. None of the lease has expired. And if the government wants to take your property back, they would do it regardless if it's freehold or leasehold, but they would pay you the market rate for your property, because they would only take back your property if they are going to do a major government infrastructure projects. And a lot of people I know who have gotten their property taken by the government has got a big paycheck. So I wish the government took my property because then they would pay me a lot of money as well. Now, renewing your lease is also easy, and your residents association would be the one to handle it. Many properties have done it and there were no issues. The rental yield, because this is one where people get misled the most. You walk into a showroom, the sales agent shows you a brochure. It says 10% ROI and you think, wow, this is great, let me book a unit. Here's what they don't tell you. That number is gross yield, and that number is predicting future market value. There's a lot of things, there's a lot of fine print here, right? Once you subtract maintenance fees, sinking fund contribution, months where the unit sits empty between tenants, property management fees, all of this stuff, even occasional repairs, your 10% becomes somewhere between 5% or even lesser than that. But this is still good. 4 to 5% is still reasonable for a stable asset in a growing market. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm saying go in knowing the real number, not the number on the brochure. So basically how this all ties up is when you do your research, and more on that later. The thing is, 8%, 10%, 15% ROI, they exist. They do. I've seen it, I know where it is. But only in very specific locations with very specific unit types and very strong rental demand areas, like very hot pockets. Not anywhere and not automatically in KL. The difference between a good yield and a disappointing one comes down to 2 things. Did you buy in the right place, and did you buy it at the right price? And that requires research, not a showroom visit. Now that's where my team and I come in. We've been studying the property market for more than 10 years. We know which locations and which units are best for investment and own stay. And I am currently working on a full Malaysia property outlook guide to show you exact numbers for each market segment so you can decide wisely with the latest property transaction data. This is only available to our clients who get the strategy call or the tour. But don't worry, you can also download the latest NAS Malaysia Starter Kit 2026 below to start your Malaysia journey. It has everything you need from how to rent a property, which visa is right for you, how to buy a property, where to live, cost of living, and a lot more. So if you haven't really downloaded, go to nasmalaysia.com and just key in your email and you will receive it in the mail. Quick side note here, because this comes up a lot when people travel or move between countries. Personally, when I travel, I try to avoid the traditional way of changing money because the exchange rates and fees can really add up over time. That's why I use Wise. I've used it when traveling to places like Korea, Hong Kong, Vietnam, and other countries. It lets me move my money between currencies at real exchange rates, all from one app. It's simple, transparent, and it just works when you're moving between countries or managing money internationally. I've left my link below if you guys want to use the same setup. Alright, back to the video. Now, this is the one that keeps me up at night when I think about buyers who didn't do their research. You'd be surprised at the amount of messages I get asking me if this is a good investment after they bought the property. What? What do you want me to do? Do you want me to burst your bubble by saying it's not? Or do you want me to make you happy by saying it is? I don't know what to do. Buying in the wrong area doesn't just mean low rental yield, it means you're stuck. Here's what actually happens. You buy a property, the developer promised strong rental demand, the brochure showed a vibrant neighborhood, you sign. 2 years later, you're trying to rent it out and there are 40 other units in your building doing the same thing. Rent prices are dropping because there's just too much supply and not enough demand. Your unit sits empty for months at a time, then you decide to sell. And when you find out the resale market for that specific project in that specific area is very thin, there are not many buyers. The ones who are interested offer you below what you paid. You can't sell at profit. You can barely sell at break even. Some people sell at a loss just to get out. This happens. It's not rare. And it happens specifically because you didn't check supply and demand, you didn't check the local rental market, and you bought based on a presentation instead of data, numbers, and actual research. Okay, I promised you a way to avoid all of this without it costing you anything. So here it is. I offer 2 ways to work with me. The first is a strategy call. 45 minutes to an hour with me directly. We go through your situation, your visa options, which cities and neighborhoods make sense for you, which type of property fits your goals, and which property to buy that makes sense, whether it's for investment or own stay. And then I connect you with my trusted and licensed agent who is part of the NAS Malaysia network. Now, if you guys don't know what NAS Malaysia network is, you can download the starter kit. It's all in there. Basically, if you are a client of ours, you get access to specialist property agents, mortgage bankers, property constructions, interior designers, lawyers, visa agents, all of them completely free. Once you are our client, you get access to all of this. Now, the second is the KL Scouting Tour. This is a full relocation package. We'll have a strategy call before you arrive. I'll advise on where you should stay during your trip, plan out your entire itinerary, plan which properties to view, whether it's for buying or renting. Then I plan your entire day in KL with me. I bring you around, show you guys neighborhoods that actually make sense for your lifestyle. I show you real properties. I give you on the ground picture that you cannot get from YouTube videos, Google, ChatGPT, or anywhere else. Now, here's the part I want you to hear clearly. If you buy a property or get your visa sorted through my team, the NAS Malaysian network, right? The strategy call and the scouting tour fee is completely refunded to you, which means working with me or my team effectively cost you nothing. The people who lose money on Malaysian property are almost always the ones who went in alone. They trusted a developer sales agent whose only job is to close a deal, not to protect your investment. I am not a developer's agent. I work for my clients. And if you get the strategy call, you become my client. The 5 things before you buy property in Malaysia. Number 1, anyone can buy. You don't even need to be here. Number 2, forget about leasehold and freehold. As long as the property and the numbers make sense, go ahead with that. Number 3, the real yield is not the brochure yield. Number 4, the wrong area will leave you stuck. And number 5, work with someone who knows the market inside out. Malaysia is a genuinely good market. A lot of people are making money from it. I believe that, but only if you go in prepared. Now, the link for the strategy call and the scouting tour are in the description, or you can scan this QR code to check it out. If you have questions, drop them in the comments below. I read all of them. Subscribe if this helped and like this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.